Hey guys, welcome back to Shadow Legends. In today's video, I want to give you guys a 10-day update for the new Tahanurok Mikey account with the new download link, getting ourselves the Vergis, the Tagoar, the Anax, and also the Deacon Armstrong. Also, once again, sorry if the audio quality is down a little bit or anything like that. I am away on holiday, so just doing my best to record off the laptop while we are away, keep you guys updated. Still have been grinding. During the day is mainly, we're at the beach doing that sort of stuff, but in the afternoons when everyone goes to bed, because I don't know about you guys, when you're on beach holidays, I feel like everyone gets cooked quick, so everyone's going to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm just sitting up till midnight, 1, 2, just grinding. So that's where I've been getting my gameplay in, trying to check every once in a while during the day, get my arena attacks done and stuff like that. But I also made one of the biggest mistakes that I always say not to do, but I did it for the sake of it was a themed account that was all about Mikey, and once again, I had instant regret. So I want to go through my plans with the legendary skill books. So Tahanurok here, I obviously skilled up. I got her skill 3 maxed. We also got 2 into this one. And, this is the most important one. This is the next most important. Getting this cooldown back to 3 turns means on Demon Lord, she has the 100% uptime of the decrease attack. And, when I was skilling her up early on this account, I had people in the comments say, why don't you save your books for Mikey? Because he's like the one you're like preparing this account around. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, listen, I will go until I max out this skill. So my first 3 books went 1 into this one and 2 into this one. Then I got 1 book that went into this, and we are in the middle, smack bang in the middle of champ training as well. So I'm trying to get this champ training all the way to the legendary skill book. Ideally, I want to get the legendary skill book and actually finish 4th because I want that epic book. I'm not going to be able to complete the Donatello fusion. Obviously, this gear would be better, but hey, 4 pieces of Relentless, 6-star epics, and then an epic skill book. I'd love to get that. So hopefully I can get the legendary skill book and that. But, I was doing obviously my skill ups because of that. And so what I ended up doing was that first skill book hit that skill 3 of the Tahanurok, so I went ahead and decided to put 2 skill books into Mikey. Instantly regretted it. You should definitely, especially if you've got something like Tahanurok, you want to just max this character out. Even her skill 1 maxing out is great. Like obviously Demon Lord and stuff like that, you won't make use of the speed decrease, but there's so many places where speed decrease is really important. So I think if you use her code, I think she is a no-brainer to go ahead and max out. If you're using like Tholan as your code, I think he's also a great one to max out because his damage is absolutely insane. That Tholan account that I played through, his Demon Lord damage, just like without even trying to speed tune a team or anything, is insane. But I decided to go over to Mikey, and you guessed it, we got 2 skill ups into the bloody skill fucking 1. Shoot me in the face. I absolutely just spewed when I did that. I'm like, bro, even if those 2 skill ups would have gone into Tahanurok's skill 1, it would have meant that all the skill ups left in her were good ones, being the next 5 books would have been debuff increase, and cooldown reduction. I would have been so set. And so my thought process was that Mikey, maybe I just put all my books into Mikey because if we can get this cooldown reduction, if we can get this cooldown reduction, and ignore this one, the idea would be that with this at a 4-turn cooldown and Tahanurok at a 4-turn cooldown, we should have 100% uptime on our attack break in Demon Lord, and I'm like, that would have been good enough. And at the end of the day, it's also for the leech uptime as well. But what I've thought now is, you know what, if I just make Tahanurok pretty self-sufficient, I can run Tahanurok with Mikey, with Vergis, with Anax, with Deacon, and then we rely on the leech healing. And basically, I'm just going to have to run Deacon until I do get Mikey skilled up. So let me know what you guys want to see on this account. My brain is telling me, screw it, just go back to the Tahanurok, finish her off, and then go to Mikey. Or do you guys want me to do Mikey? I'm happy to take a hit and do that as well, because at the end of the day, we've only got 2 left to go into this dead skill here, and then the rest are the good skill ups. So what's he need? He needs 8 more skill books. So let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of torn in that I've already wasted 2 into the dead skill. Maybe I'm going to get some luck here. It's always a gamble with those skill books. But once again, I normally say just go all in on the one character. Now, some people would say, if you start, like Tahanurok's a no-brainer because she's such a good support character. But if you start with something like Tholan Foulbeard, some people would say don't put skill ups into Tholan Foulbeard. Wait for a better champion. I think, nah, just do it because you don't know when you're going to pull or if you're going to pull a better legendary. And getting your clan boss damage up there, which Tholan is huge for, is worth it because then you start getting to Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare faster, which then starts getting you more legendary books faster. So that is my whole process. I think, if you've got a good starter champion legendary, just put books into them. like don't hang on for the thing that may never come, because that champion will probably get you to higher scores faster, which is going to give you more books to essentially recoup what you've spent on them. So that is my general thought there. Like I said, I want to go through that. So then I went to go ahead and pop my epic books, and wouldn't you know it, we got shafted there as well. So I went to pop epic books, and I'm like, listen, if I just get 2 books into this skill 3 of Deacon, I'm happy to leave it there, because, you know, we've also got Mikey with the Leech, you know, if I'm looking at Demon Lord. We've also got Anax with the skill 1 Death Break. We got Mikey with the skill 2 Death Break. You know, I'm like, you know, let's just get the 2 into Deacon, because even at level 40, Deacon just huge in all content when you get this down to a 3-turn cooldown. Even ignoring his defense break and stuff like that. Wouldn't you know that I got both of these skills maxed before I got a single one into this skill. So I had to go ahead and max out Deacon's skills just to get the 2 here. Absolutely bloody shafted on this account in skill books. So Deacon took a max books, and now it's like, do I do Tagoar or do I do Anax? I'm leaning towards doing Anax next, because I'm just looking more at Demon Lord damage, I could do Tagoar, because Tagoar is going to be huge for all the other aspects of the game. But because every other account I always do Tagoar as the first epic, I thought let's mix it up a bit and have a bit of a play. Now if we go over here to the tavern and we go upgrade skills, you can see we're only sitting on 2 epic books, so we do need to get that epic book income happening. But yeah, we're kind of a little bit behind. I do feel this is the account that I feel the most messy on at this stage of the game, because the others were all very clear cut. You know, Tholen, you just do Tholen, you do Tagoar, there's your carry, away you go, and then you move into Deacon. With, you know, Supreme Gallagher was pretty much the same with this one, because we got the support here. Mikey's not going to be insane damage, so we're kind of bringing sub damage. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But in general, what I'm looking at for a clan boss team is probably going to be Tahanurok with Mikey, with Vergis, with Anax, and then Deacon as well. Once I get Mikey's skill 4 maxed, even though it won't be 100% uptime, I think that Leech, along with Tahanurok's heal over times, should be enough. And then obviously once we have all of our masteries done, so everyone's on the War Master or the Giant Slayer, we should be pretty. I think everyone here goes on War Master. Dude, why am I forgetting the name of it? Masteries? Dude, how did I forget the name? Yeah, it's War Master. Dude, I thought I was saying the wrong name for a second there. Yeah, but once everyone's on the War Master, then we just get good healing off the Leech. That should be enough to do us. And then we got the supplementary healing off of the skill 1 of the Tahanurok to supplement as well. We'll have a play with that, but eventually I could drop the Deacon, because Mikey will kind of fill that role. We also have Anax with the skill 1 defense break to cover that role as well. And then maybe we drop Deacon for something like a Morag, who we get from Polarium points over here once we hit the limit on the Polarium points, but that's going to be a while for me because I haven't been playing on PC too much. So, you know, we could use her, or we could look to something like a buff extender as well. I'm keeping a Valerie here in, I don't even know what that gear's from, but yeah, I'm keeping 2 here, 1 for the fusion and 1 to actually build as a buff extender. So we could do the buff extender, work on a speed tune when having, you know, the defense buff and also the ally protect. Hell, we could even drop the Anax maybe and run the defense buff, the ally protect, and then run the Morag for the strengthen, and then run a buff extender, and then we've got a ton of buff extension. So we could play around with different ideas like that, but that's kind of what I'm looking towards for the clan boss as we move forward on this account, because like I said, I do want to work on the clan boss as fast as possible. So let's refresh that shop. I'll go buy that stuff soon. Now let's give you guys, sorry, that was a big ramble. I just wanted to get you guys across with what I'm doing on skill ups because it's a bit messy at the moment. Now, if we go over here, you can see we're on day 11 of login. We're just under 10 days, 10 full days played, and we're at level 43, almost 44. Now, something I am desperate for is a burner. So I'm not summoning any summons. So if we go include the vaults and we go debuffs and we search for a burner, you can see that we have 0 burners on the account. Now, the only way I'm going to get one is through mystery shards, because I am saving absolutely every summon, because if we get the summon event for Leo, I want to try and get Leo. We've got 4 sacreds. We'll probably end up having 6 sacreds by the time he comes by next month. And then Ancient Shards 39, hopefully we get towards like 60, 70 of those. Void Shards, hopefully we're around, 10, 15. And hopefully we can get a Leo if there is summons involved in getting him from an event. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I've seen, the anticipation, the stuff that got put onto the Apple Store, I think it was, or the Google Play. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But that is where we're at. As for everything else in the Arbiter missions, we are just kind of waiting. We got to wait for Magic Day to do this one. But then we've also got to get Spirit Spirit Day in and ascend someone, and then we've got to go back and do the Spirit again after we farm Spirit to get the Ascensions, which is kind of bloody annoying. It's just what happens when you get very Spirit heavy. You can see we've got the Tahanurok at 6-star Ascended, but then we've got to do Mikey, and then the next one after that is going to be Vergis, and then the next one after that is probably going to be Anax as well. So we've got a lot of Spirit to go ahead and farm, so we're going to have to farm it, get our 6-star Ascension for the missions, and then keep going that way. Besides that, we also unlocked the altar, and I haven't popped any of these because I am just waiting for an event to do it. I just like double dipping on the efficiency of this. Sometimes you could, like on my other accounts, I have just popped all this stuff early to try and get some early souls. But on this one, I'm trying to be a bit more efficient with it for the long term. So I'm waiting for an event that encourages me to pop stones or like the rate up events as well. We'll wait and see. I have been checking the soul merchant as well, and that is where I did go ahead and grab myself the Vergis soul, because it popped up. So I've got 1 soul on Vergis. Allows me to get the emergency heal. Now, this only gets really big once you get into higher stages. Like, even if I could get a 5-star, healing 9% each time a shield expires, even 3-star would be huge for him to get that extra bit of healing. We're currently healing 3%, which does trigger quite often, but it's not a massive heal. But once again, that's where we've got him. It also does give him the extra HP and all that stuff. So not too bad, because he is 6-star now. And so we are using him for solo content. If we go over actually into Doom Tower, if we jump over here, we had the bomb. So I got stuck for 1 day on Dark Fae. That was just an absolute mess, because Mikey is so annoying as your main damage dealer, because he gets stolen and then he avoids damage. This just took me a day's worth of trying to actually get through. So we missed the reset on her, then beat her the next day. Bommel that we just did on the floor, whatever this is, 50, that was just a Mikey solo. Mikey just completely soloed this dude. Everyone died like with the boss at like 80% HP, and then Mikey did the entire fight, which was awesome. And then hopefully Vergis is going to be able to solo this one over here with the Scarab. And then who's after that? The Phoenix. I think the Phoenix is honestly quite easy. So hopefully we can get through that one and get the chicken over there. Then we're going to obviously keep climbing up and hopefully get some of these epic books as well, because really want to get that value out of it there. Those books are absolutely huge if we can go ahead and get them. Faction Wars we've been pushing. This stage is just complete RNG with my Vergis. I've tried it like 10 times. I'm going to keep trying it tonight. Hopefully get through it, see what we can do on the stage 14, because the more stage 14s we clear, the more epic skill books we get, which I am absolutely desperate for. Let's go ahead and collect that. Organ, we just got a few stars on this one because we ran the Bellower that we got from the code. Also, I did get my Slayer set. So the 1 week gift worked for me yesterday. And so I did do that, but the gear was absolutely hot. If I go ahead and show you guys gear, where's the Slayer gear? Where is it? Here it is. So we had this one. Oh, my head's probably covering it. Wait, let's close that. Can we, damn. Anyway, this one was accuracy, resistance crit damage, HP percent, defense percent, gloves with flat defense with speed and resistance, chest was resistance with speed and defense, and then we had defense boots with accuracy and HP. Absolute trash pieces, gave me absolutely nothing to work with. So that's what we got out of there. Our campaign gear, I don't know if I showed you guys this, our campaign gear ended up being pretty good. We actually got speed boots, which is huge. We got a shield that rolled 18 speed. We got a weapon that rolled 12 speed. And then we got HP percent gloves that rolled 11 speed. So the Nightmare campaign gloves were actually huge. And that's also where we got the extra skill books from, was the Nightmare campaign. You can see we're into that last phase of it, trying to work our way up to the chickens. But yeah, Nightmare campaign is where we ended up getting those books. We've actually done all right with Mikey and Tahanurok. You can see we only got 1 star there. We got a bunch of 3 stars. Here we got a few 3 stars as well. This one was a nightmare. These ones where I got like 2 stars, it was because we went over the 10-minute limit. Those things are long as hell, those fights. And then we've just done 1 stage here. So I stopped. I reverted to using the stamina back on leveling stuff up for the champion training. Besides that, that's pretty much everything that we have gone through. I'm trying to get this summon rush up to the next energy. I would love this 100 energy, so I need to do 200 more summons. So hopefully through farming experience for the champion training, we can get ourselves another 100 mystery shards, and then we'll be able to get that extra 100 energy, because at this stage of the game, every energy counts. As for arena, which is the final thing I'll go through, obviously we're just refreshing every 15 minutes over here. Dude, that thing, what's his power? Holy shit. Is he going to wipe me? I don't even know what he does. We'll try that later. But you can see we're at 1,000 of the medals. Not too bad. We are just working our way up there. So that is everything for the account for 10 days played. If you guys have any questions about anything else, please leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it in videos. But that is going to be it for this one. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.